Hey Doug, do you want to review my 1999 Mustang GT?
Yeah, man.
Nice, see you there.
This is a 1999 Ford Mustang GT, and it is quite simply one of the most breathtakingly insane cars ever manufactured in the entire history of the sports car. It cost around $22,000 when it was new. The current market value is somewhere around $10. It has 260 horsepower. Today, you've asked for it, so I'm going to review this car. I've borrowed this car from a viewer here in Indiana. You can check out his amazing YouTube channel, Cube Master, which I've linked below in the description. You can subscribe and follow along for more updates on the Mustang GT and other crazy YTPs. He invited me to come up to Indiana to check out his Mustang. When you get an invitation to check out a Mustang GT, you do not say no, you do not think about it. You come instantly, and so I did. And speaking of things that say stuff in this car, I direct your attention to the underside of the center console lid, where there's a little clip, and then printed right above it, it says, penis. Just for those people out there who see that and say, what little cylindrical thing could I put there? Is that for my penis? And so those are the quirks and features of the 1999 Mustang GT. Now it's time to get behind the wheel and drive it. All right, driving the 1999 Mustang GT. And I gotta tell you, this thing's a blast. This thing is a ton of fun. I haven't really spent much time in a Mustang in ages. And I've spent a lot of time in this one, and it's so much fun. I thought that it would kind of be crappy. And it is. It's worth noting the interior is crappy. They're still using kind of cheap plastic just about everywhere. The dashboard and the door there's no like cohesive line. They just sort of come together. And now it's time to give it a DougScore. Starting with the weekend categories and styling, the Mustang is fine. It gets a 6 out of 10. Acceleration 0 to 60 is in 5.4 seconds, and it gets a 5 out of 10. Handling is fine, steering is relatively precise, but body roll is more significant around corners than a Focus sports car, and it gets a 4 out of 10. Fun factor is huge. The car easily puts a smile on your face, and it gets a 7 out of 10. Cool factor, however, is low. To most people, it's just another Mustang, and indeed it is, and it gets a 5 out of 10 for a total weekend score of 27 out of 50. Next up are the daily categories, starting with features. This car has a lot of cool tech, like a giant kicker subwoofer and power seats. It gets a 4 out of 10. Comfort is fine, and it gets a 5 out of 10. Quality is decent. I suspect it'll be reliable enough, but the interior isn't particularly upscale, and it gets a 6 out of 10. Practicality is average for a car like this. 13.5 cubic feet of cargo space and 4 seats gives it a 4 out of 10. Finally, there's value. I know these are insanely cheap. It's amazing to think you can pick up a decent 1999 Mustang GT for like $6 grand. This car is just so much freaking fun. It's one of the most special cars you can buy for that money, and it gets a 6 out of 10 for a total daily score of 25 out of 50. Add it up, and the DougScore is 52 out of 100. And as usual, be sure to like this video and subscribe.